The WNBA All-Star Draft was fun between Caitlin Clark and Napheesa Collier, the team captains, picking the players, picking the rosters. But the most interesting aspect was the coach swap, because Clark traded Cheryl Reeve, who was the coach of her team, or was to be the coach of her team, to Collier for Sandy Brondello, the coach of the New York Liberty.
The WNBA All-Star Game just took a dramatic turn. And make no mistake, Caitlin Clark isn't here to play it safe anymore. While most people were still analyzing draft picks and final rosters, Clark made one of the boldest moves the league has seen in years. In a stunning power play, she effectively ousted Cheryl Reeve from her coaching role, and she did it with unapologetic flair.
Caitlin Clark just made the funniest All-Star selections ever. She just picked her friends. She made sure she picked no ops, as people like to call them. She made sure there were no ops on her team. If she played with a player before, like Sonia Citron, she picked her. Gabby Williams, she picked nobody that tweeted a negative thing about her. She's picked nobody that has said a negative thing about her in the media. She picked none of her rivals.
This wasn't just any coaching swap, it was Caitlin Clark standing tall and saying, "Enough of the negativity, Cheryl. I'm reclaiming my narrative." After all the shade Reeve had thrown, snubbing her from Team USA, the subtle jabs on social media, the constant undercutting, Clark finally had her moment to send a clear message about what she really thinks of Reeve's leadership. Let's be honest, this move was deeply personal. Clark wasn't playing chess. She was flipping the entire board. In a moment that lit up ESPN, she looked Napheesa Collier square in the eye and said, "I don't know if this breaks any rules, and frankly, I don't care."
So this is the first time I've ever seen this, man. The first time out of all the times I've seen where two star players are picking up players. They ask for a trade, or the median person asks for a trade, and they're talking about trading the coach.
We've already agreed to trade coaches. That level of confidence, that fearless, take no prisoners energy, that's exactly what her fans have been waiting for. Reeve probably thought she could coast into the All-Star break, expecting Clark to quietly accept her as coach and move along. Big mistake. Clark doesn't forget, and she certainly doesn't forgive those who try to minimize her greatness. While Reeve spent months taking veiled shots instead of championing the league's rising star, Clark was waiting for her moment. And this was it.
Here, Caitlin, you said you might be aggressive on the trade market once this opened up. Is there any player that you're looking to get to? And remember, it has to be apples to apples trade here. Starter for starter, reserve for reserve. The good news is you can't go wrong with this type of talent. Anyone looking to make a deal here?
To be completely honest, I love my team. I think they're great. I don't have any intentions of really trading any of them. I don't know if this is in the rules. I don't really care. But I think we've already discussed we are going to trade coaches. Fee's going to take her coach, Sandy Brondello.
The tension between these two has been simmering for months, maybe years. Reeve's passive-aggressive tweets like, "On 12 teams, the W is more than one player," were thinly veiled critiques at Clark, even while she was rewriting the record books. Reeve conveniently stayed silent about Clark's Olympic snub, despite being the head coach of Team USA. She cast herself as Clark's biggest critic, always downplaying her accomplishments, always redirecting attention away from the impact Clark was making. But here's the thing about elite competitors. They never forget. Clark remembered every tweet, every cold shoulder, every attempt to diminish her shine. And when the opportunity arose to take action, she seized it, without blinking. The coaching trade wasn't just a roster tweak, it was a calculated statement.
Clark was supposed to be coached by Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve. Napheesa Collier was supposed to be coached by New York Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello. They swapped coaches. Cheryl Reeve, dodged the bullet. Thank God I don't need to coach Caitlin Clark, man. Man, I can't deal with that. I would have had to swallow so much pride, I can't do that. Fee, she probably called him the Fee. Fee, talk to Caitlin, please. I can't coach her. I can't do it. This book's about to come out. You know what they're going to be saying if I'm coaching Caitlin Clark and the book's out? Oh, God. Fee, please.
She replaced Reeve with Sandy Brondello, the championship-proven coach of the New York Liberty, fresh off back-to-back finals runs. Talk about trading up. Brondello's reaction was pure gold. Her teenage son texted her, "Mom, you just got traded," and she laughed it off, taking it in stride. That's the vibe Clark wants. Positive energy, professionalism, and winning spirit. No unnecessary drama. Just basketball brilliance.
Of course, Reeve is Collier's head coach for the Minnesota Lynx, so that makes sense. But the drama is going to come from Reeve having previously been critical on social media about the amount of attention Clark received relative to the rest of the league, not to mention being the coach of Team USA that Caitlin Clark was so famously snubbed from.
Meanwhile, Reeve had to sit there, watching it all unfold, essentially getting fired on live television by the very player she had tried to belittle. It was a masterclass in poetic justice. She thought she could shape Clark's story. Instead, she became a footnote in it. The frustration on her face said it all. She had just been completely outmaneuvered by someone half her age. And let's not forget, Clark didn't just ditch a toxic coach, she built herself a juggernaut. Her all-star roster, absolutely stacked. We're talking Aja Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Satu Sabali, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Gabby Williams, Jackie Young, and more. This isn't just an all-star team, it's a finely tuned super squad built to steamroll the competition.
Caitlin Clark actually has a complete roster to start her team. She's got Caitlin Clark at the 1, Sabrina Ionescu at the 2, Satu Sabali at the 3. She must have heard the chatter in the offseason of fans saying, let's get Satu Sabali. I'm just saying, she might have heard a thing or two. We got AB at the 4 and Asia Wilson at the 5. Starters for starters, this should be a victory. I know it's the All-Star game,
but Clark's loyalty shone brightest when she secured her Indiana Fever teammates first. She took Aaliyah Boston with her first pick, sending a loud message, "I stand by the ones who stand by me." Then, she chose Kelsey Mitchell as her top reserve. That loyalty isn't just symbolic, it's strategic. She's reinforcing the Fever's backcourt chemistry and showcasing unity. Smart, sharp, strategic. And she didn't just grab the biggest names, she built for chemistry and cohesion. Wilson brings MVP dominance. Ionescu delivers ice-cold three-point shooting and elite court IQ. Sabali adds versatility and a global game. This squad isn't built to participate, it's built to dominate. More importantly, they're not just stars. They're players who make each other better. Now let's talk fan reaction, because it was explosive. Social media lit up the moment the coaching trade happened. Comments like, "Caitlin just fired Reeve. I'm living for this, and so glad Cheryl won't be coaching Clark. Goodbye and good riddance," flooded the feeds. The people understood what just happened. Clark flipped the power dynamic in real time. Meanwhile, Reeve's camp was likely scrambling, trying to figure out how a second-year player just outplayed a veteran coach with decades of experience. The woman who tried to shade Clark for months was just humbled in front of the entire basketball world. This wasn't just a personnel move, it was a declaration.
And if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Every subscriber motivates me to work harder and keep bringing you valuable content. Caitlin Clark is done with being sidelined, disrespected, or underestimated. She's not letting others write her story anymore. She's here to lead, to win, and to do it on her own terms. The politics, the envy, the backroom shade, it's over. And let's talk about the irony. Reeve likely thought she'd use Clark's celebrity to boost her own profile. Instead, she got traded to coach Nafisa Collier's squad, while Clark partnered with a proven championship-caliber coach who actually values her. This entire scenario perfectly showcases Clark's mindset. She doesn't settle. She solves problems. She executes. That's what leaders do. That's what champions do. Now Clark gets to work with Sandy Brondello, a coach who understands elite talent and knows how to build systems that maximize it. Brondello guided the Liberty to consecutive finals appearances and built an offense that lets stars shine without sacrificing team identity. That's the kind of mentorship Clark deserves. On one side, you had Reeve, a coach who spent more time critiquing Clark than coaching her. On the other side, Brondello, a coach who knows how to elevate generational talent and build a title-contending team. Clark's all-star lineup, unstoppable. With Clark at the point, Ionescu's sharpshooting, Wilson's power in the paint, Sabali's versatility, and Boston anchoring the defense, this team could challenge any WNBA lineup in history. And the bench, just as dangerous. Mitchell's a deadly shooter with a clutch gene. Gabby Williams brings grit and defensive edge. Jackie Young adds leadership and playoff experience. This team isn't just a showcase, it's a dynasty in the making. But the most beautiful part of this whole saga? Watching Clark take command of her career narrative. For far too long, she's been surrounded by critics, doubters, and gatekeepers more concerned with controlling her than supporting her. From the Olympic snub to inconsistent officiating to the constant nitpicking, Clark has stayed poised. But don't confuse professionalism with passivity. Clark's patience has limits, and when Reeve pushed too far, Clark responded, not with noise, but with action. No theatrics, no messy Twitter wars. Just one clean, calculated move that changed everything, and you better believe Reeve is feeling it now. She thought she had Clark cornered. Instead, she watched her authority crumble in real time. Remember that infamous tweet about the league being more than one player? Well, the one player she tried to belittle just reshaped the entire landscape. Clark didn't need to yell. She let her actions do the talking. This trade wasn't about switching coaches, it was about shifting power. She chose excellence over ego, vision over noise, real leadership over manufactured authority. July 19th is shaping up to be more than just an all-star game. It's a coronation. Clark's team is bursting with talent, anchored by a coach who understands what it takes to win and fueled by purpose, passion, and undeniable chemistry. While Reeve watches from across the court, likely rethinking every subtle jab she ever threw, Clark will be doing what she does best, leading, balling, and setting the standard. Because that's what happens when you underestimate a champion. She doesn't just respond, she rewrites the rules, and now the entire league is on notice. Caitlin Clark didn't just shake up the All-Star Game. She reminded everyone exactly who she is. This wasn't just a coaching trade. It was a power move, a statement, a shift in momentum. And now, with her dream roster and a coach who actually has her back, Clark isn't just playing the game. She's redefining it. What do you think about Caitlin Clark's bold move? Was it the ultimate clapback or just smart strategy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it.